Well, here we are again. This week we move into Chapter 9, where we will talk about curriculum and course design. When you first move into the world of teaching, you probably won't, well, at least you shouldn't, have much to do with curriculum. You need to be concentrating on teaching. So I will try to keep the explanations in the chapter as brief as possible. So, are you ready? Here are our objectives for this week. As with most of these videos, there is just going to be a brief introduction to each topic. If you want to study further, you can go exploring on the internet or at your university's library. And these are the topics we're going to cover. Hopefully it won't take too long. However, every time I go to record the audio for these videos, these stupid crows come near my office and are really noisy. They don't do it at any other time, just when I'm trying to record. I'm sure it's some stupid conspiracy by the Stupid Crow Society for Annoying Adrian. Sorry about that, just venting a little frustration. So we're going to start off with a discussion. I want you to think about elective subjects at your university. What affects your decisions to choose those subjects? Do you look at the syllabus of the subject? Do you look at the assessment? Do you talk to people who have taken those courses before? Be prepared to talk about your experiences with your group members in class. There are a couple of terms here which are good for you to know before we get into the nitty-gritty of the chapter. First, we have a curriculum, which is what you would have received when you first entered university. A summary of what you need to do to graduate. Then we have a program, referring to a collection of classes or courses, but really just don't worry about that too much for now. Syllabus is something that you should be aware of though. This is the outline of the course you are teaching. It should include the materials you will use, weekly plans, assessment, and other important information. At the beginning of this course, you received a copy of the syllabus, right? Both teachers and students should keep the syllabus in mind throughout the course. Then finally, we have the course. This is the combined 15 weeks, or however long, of classes that are taught throughout the year. That complex figure you see on page 181 is the process you need to go through when designing your course. Actually, it's not quite as complicated as it might seem. Look at your students' needs, specify the goals, construct your lesson plans based around those goals, then assess whether you need to make any changes. Too easy. Next, we'll have a look at doing some analyses to prepare for our courses. First, we should look at the situation the class will be taught in and consider various factors, such as the materials available to us, class sizes, how much freedom you have in your teaching, and how assessment will be done. Second, we have the needs analysis, which is more related to the students themselves. Objective needs can be found out through interviews or questionnaires and tell us students' proficiency levels and what they exactly need to do with the language. Subjective needs are not quite as easy to find out, but include students' expectations and their preferred learning styles. I really encourage you to consider your students' needs when you design your courses in the future. Finally, as with any part of teaching, you need to think about what problems might occur when teaching. If you think about the problems ahead of time, you will be better prepared for when those problems come up. Let's have another discussion. It is often said that prevention is the best solution to many problems. To prevent problems occurring, we need to predict what might happen. So I would like you to think of the courses you will teach in the future and some problems that may occur. Then, I want you to come up with some solutions for those problems. Are you up for the challenge? Let's see what ideas you have. Once we have thought about our students' needs, we need to think about the goals for the course. Having clear goals will help you with your lesson planning. These goals should start with, by the end of this course, students will be able to blah blah blah. You might notice that at the beginning of each of these videos, I have objectives, which are kind of like mini goals for each lesson. These also include be able to. Making the goals for your course and the objectives for each lesson very clear will help you and your students have a better understanding of what they need to be doing. I kind of got ahead of myself earlier when I described what a syllabus was. So rather than describing it again, here is an example of a syllabus I used in this course a couple of years ago. There are some similarities to what I use now. What is important though is that the goals, textbook, structure, contact details, and assessment are all clear. Hopefully, this makes it easier for students to have an idea of what to expect from this course. Depending on where you teach, you might not actually get much choice when it comes to the textbooks you use in class. If you are lucky enough to have a choice though, always remember to take into consideration things such as the goals and purposes of the course, the size of the textbook, and of course how much it costs. Ultimately, like so many parts of teaching, thinking about what is going to work best for your students is what matters most. And finally, we have assessment. As we will see later in this textbook, or at least in my explanations, assessment is one of the most important parts of a student's success. Your assessment should guide students in how they study and what they should focus on when studying. So you should always take assessment very seriously when designing your course. Assessment also includes the assessment of your own course. As teachers, we should always be assessing and reassessing the course and our lessons. For example, do you need to change the way things are being taught? Always review your goals and make sure you have been implementing them properly in your classes. Okay, we are just about done, but we should finish up with one more discussion. I would like you to choose a course you take at university, and you can choose this course if you like, and assess how it has met the 12 points shown on pages 191 and 192. Give reasons for your assessment of the course. Well, that is about it for today. Thanks for sticking around until the end. I hope everything goes well as you prepare for class, and I'll see you soon.